Vice Mayor?
Yes, I move to put a motion to put an item on next week's agenda to pursue formal censure and sanctions against Councilmember Meyering for ongoing violations of the Code of Ethical Conduct and Council Policy. Either we condemn this behavior or we're condoning it. Enough is enough.
And these pious proclamations by Mr. Moylan concerning free speech and Meyering interrupting the mayor are really hypocritical. You can look at the tape, the video from the September 2012 council meeting where Mr. Moylan is seen crouching behind the mayor's chair working out an arrangement where the mayor was going to ask me if he could speak ahead of me. I said yes. Mayor spoke about giving the city manager a $21,000 bonus. All the 5 other council members had spoken in favor of it. I didn't believe it was a good idea. And after Mr. Spitaleri finished, Mr. Moylan joined in a motion to deny me a chance to speak at all, and then told Mr. Spitaleri we'll turn off his microphone. This group of individuals up here on the stage in front of you has turned City Hall in Sunnyvale into a brothel. Mr. Spitaleri has repeatedly interrupted me during my time to present my views. So miscasting that as me shouting over the mayor underscores how factually incorrect this resolution is. No matter how many times they say I shouted over the mayor, you can view the video and say, the mayor interrupted Meyering for the umpteenth time. So it's very hypocritical for them to be talking about respecting the opinions of others when all of these people engaged in this little charade in September of 2012 to have a bonus paid, $21,000 bonus to the city manager, and Mr. Spitaleri knowingly asked me if he could go first, knowing that there was going to be an attempt to cut me off. I was naive at that time and said, sure, go ahead and speak ahead of me. And he orchestrated with other council members a claim that he could make a motion to cut off debate, which isn't in the little paperback that these individuals have up here on the stage. There is no such motion.
The argument should stand or fail on its merits, independent of the personal characteristics of who's making it. And so what we're supposed to do is attack statements or arguments that we don't agree with without attacking the persons, accusing them of lying, accusing them of being unethical, accusing them of being venal, of self-interested, suggesting that they're whores by saying they're turning the council into a brothel. That doesn't actually address any of the arguments. That's pure personal attack. And it has no place anywhere. You expect to see it among third graders on a playground, but it has no place here. Let me also, every single week, the city attorney was publicly accused in these chambers of dishonesty, of incompetence, of lying, every single week in violation of the Code of Conduct and Ethics. It was explained to Councilmember Meyering over and over and over again that was factually incorrect. And it's getting worse and worse, and the accusations are more and more blatantly incorrect. For example, in the meeting that was alluded to earlier, indeed on the video I could be seen ducking behind the mayor. Was I plotting with the mayor to squelch Councilmember Meyering? No. I was responding to a psst from Councilmember Whittam going, hey, am I allowed to make a motion to end debate? He was asking me a parliamentary procedure question, and I responded yes. And by the way, you've heard it asserted that it's not in this book. It's on page 17 of this book, our official reference on parliamentary procedure, motion to close debate. Okay? That motion to close debate was quite proper. It was voted on 5-2 by the council. And when that happens, it's a standard parliamentary move. Parliamentary bodies are allowed to do that. Council voted to do it. Councilmember Meyering refused to abide by a 5-2 vote. You don't get to make your own rules. You don't get to say, if the result of a vote is inconvenient to me, I'm going to stamp my feet and have a tantrum and shout and shout and shout until I get my way. The mayor decides who has the floor. When the mayor says you're done, you're done. To say, the mayor interrupted me. You know what? If the mayor cut you off, you don't have the floor anymore. You're not being interrupted, you're interrupting the mayor. It's happened to me several times with this mayor, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. And I thought on several occasions it was done incorrectly. But I didn't shout over him because I signed the code that said that it's more important to carry out the public's business in a professional and adult way than it is for me to always get my way every time. An interesting choice was handed up to us. A false choice. A choice between raising our voices or not doing our jobs. Really? The only way anyone can do their job as a city council member is to shout over everyone else so they don't get to speak? Every city council member in the history of Sunnyvale has failed to do their job except one. Everyone on the Housing Commission and the staff at that time was at fault. Everyone on the council now and the staff is all at fault. Is it really everyone is all bad? Or do we have one person who thinks the rules don't apply to him? I think Pat's take on the code of ethics is completely consistent. He didn't sign it because he's not going to follow it. And that's what's happened. All the rest of us signed it, and we're sitting here biting our tongues trying to follow it. And he said, I'm not signing that. I'm not following it. And he hasn't. But the fact is that's unacceptable in a professional environment of any kind. It's unacceptable, and it creates a hostile environment for our employees. It's unacceptable, and it creates an intimidating and hostile environment for any member of the public who might disagree.